what was going on. I saw, and I looked into my crystal ball and saw what was probably going to happen. And I said, I don't want any part of this, you know. And that's why I do what I do now, because I don't have handcuffs on me like the police do. Okay. I don't need probable cause. You know, I can break into a house and go, hey, I just don't need probable cause. The cops love working with us. They always ask us, you guys need any help? You know, and I had a guy one time say, you didn't read me my Miranda rights. I go, you know what, you're right. Here's your Miranda rights. You gotta do whatever the F I tell you to do, period. That ain't right. I said, yeah, it is. I'm not a cop, and I don't have to Mirandarize you. You're all done, dude. You're guilty, period. You know, when I come after you, you are guilty, all right? I got a pawn warrant that says you're guilty, and it's signed by a judge, and you're all done. The crime's already been committed, and you're guilty, all right? It's not like a cop where he doesn't know if you're guilty or not. I know you're guilty, so I don't have to read you nothing, you know, and it's, you know, it's really something. And like one guy, this guy came at me with a beer bottle one night. Okay, now I got a Smith & Wesson, a 40, and it's weighs like 2.5 pounds, and it's not this plastic crap like you know, the Glocks and stuff like that. This is a real gun. And when he came at me with that beer bottle, I took that as a threat, of course, because it was. I pulled out my 40 and I clocked him with it. I hit him right in the eye socket. I split his skull. All right? You could see where it opened up about a ½ inch on his flesh on the eye socket. You could see the crack in the bone there in his eye socket. And the paramedics got there about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes later, and he was still on the ground. I thought I killed him. And the police were with us, okay? And the cop said, man, you don't want to mess with this guy. This guy don't have to shoot you with this gun. If he hits you with it, you're all done. He said, look what he did to this guy. And the guy did survive, but I mean, I put a real hurting on him. I think that's the last time he'll ever raise a beer bottle to anybody, all right? And he wasn't the guy that we were after. But he came at me with a beer bottle. I didn't even have any paperwork to do. There's nothing. The cop said, no problem. Hey, there we go. And because I'm not a police officer. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I wouldn't want to be a cop today because of all the crap that they got to put up with. You know, we're getting sued and this and that and the other. They can't sue me. They can't do a damn thing to me. You mess with me, and you threaten me. You pose a threat to me. I'm going to freaking hurt you. And there's no two ways about it. When I go out, I always have my 40 on my side, my 380 on my ankle. And sometimes my shotgun, my 12-gauge shotgun. It's in the car anyway. And, you know, it's just, you're going to lose. and we can be nice. We've done nice things for guys. We've driven them. One guy said when we arrested him, he hadn't seen his kids in a couple of months, and the charges, he was going up on gun charges. He was going to go away for like at least 10 or 15 years. We took him 2 or 3 towns over from where we were to go see his kids, so he could see them before we took him to the police department, and you know, he got incarcerated. But he was a decent guy. And we just had one just last week. We picked a guy up in New Haven. It was a rough takedown, but you know, he turned out to be very cooperative, and you know, And he said, you know, I would like to, you know, if I could have one. I didn't even know what he was talking about. He named something, and he finally said, well, it's a cigar. I said, oh, okay. So you want to smoke a cigar before we turn you into the PD? Yes. Okay. Well, no problem. You're being nice. I went in the freaking store. I paid $1.25 and picked him up the cigar that he wanted. Lit it up. I kept him outside the PD, outside. But my partner went in to do the paperwork, and I let him stand out there and smoke the cigar because he was decent about it. But if you want to be an asshole, I can be a bigger one.